Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Sober Card today, at least for the minute. But
for now,
we're going to work on it. We both didn't have time to start drinking before the show. So excuse us if we're not as, as big of idiots right away. Might take some more time. But I came fully equipped. I'm going to do an apple whiskey shot. I'm going to do a little smoky again because I love these. Got to do it. But I will give the
big smoky next time.
Yeah, I know. I probably need to get a whole bottle. But, I'm in line. I'm waiting. I just grab a few fucking of these little shot things to see what they are. And then I'm drinking my usual cranberry with Canada Dry and vodka. And then, of course, I'm going to drink another Chimay tonight. So it's another night of mix. See, it didn't affect me last time.
Well,
yep, I was fine. I was fine the next morning. Excuse me.
I had to restock on my bourbon.
Nice. Actually, that's not true. Tuesday morning, I felt a little nauseous on the drive to work. And then I kind of felt a little shitty for the first half of the day till about noon or so. But I got over it, So maybe mixing all this shit isn't really a good idea.
Yeah. For me, the reason why this is my first drink of the night, after work, I had to go pick up my daughter who's now going to pre-K. But I had to go pick her up at my parents' house. And drive all the way back to our house to get her ready for gymnastics. Took her to gymnastics, got her home, got the kids in bed, and then I literally sat down here, got on. That was my first drink.
You didn't get to eat anything?
No, I ate.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, let's
I
not do that again.
A nice meaty peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
What is this, high school?
It was between that and chicken nugs and tater tots,
Oh my God.
No.
You were truly a house with kids in it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
When you got
really
tater tots.
I would love to expose them to better foods, but they are little bitches when it comes to that.
No, you're right. I mean, kids are fucking little picky little bastards when it comes to food. It takes until I don't know, a certain age, maybe 12, 13, they start loosening up a little. I think that's how it went for Nick. But prior to that, let's go.
All right. A couple other people before we really start chugging here. Joe Dem.
Listening in headphones while cooking dinner naked and smoking on my pen. Pen, is that like...
Depending on what you're cooking, that could be dangerous if you're naked.
That's true. Don't recommend that near grills. So... Or like if you're frying shit and you're like going to dump a turkey into a turkey fryer, definitely wear some pants. You could get splassage, and that's bad. Terrence Uleda. Terrence Uleda. That's not a fake name. Terrence Uleda. I know that's a real name. It sounds like it could be real.
It's a real name.
A local place makes a great Vienna lager. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like the biggest fan of lagers. I mean, but on a hot day when you come home from golf and it's been 85, 90 degrees outside and you just want something refreshing, lagers do it. They do the trick. So that's when I like lagers. Shout out from Texas. Hell yeah. I have driven through your state, but I've never really lived there.
I've driven the complete length of that state, actually.
Man, that sucks.
That was rough.
Yeah.
It literally, the 24-hour drive to South Padre, half of it was spent in that fucking state.
Isn't Fort Hood in that state? Fort Hood.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Believe it is. Let me know. Is Fort Hood in Texas? Because as a kid, that's where I went for like a week. My dad had something to do there. I don't know what with the military. And then it was just along our way back to Fort Knox or something like that. Pour one out for the Queen. Oh, okay. Let's do a shot to the Queen. I'm going to do apple whiskey in her memory. Get this off. I had a news flash on. Prost. I had a news flash on my phone, and it, where they pop up on your phone. It said, "How Queen Elizabeth's death will affect you." I was like, "It's not going to affect me at all. At all. Zero. I don't. She had no effect on my life whatsoever. None that I can. No tangible thing I can call up. She's a member of the royal family.
Mhm.
I don't wish her dead, but I mean, she's 96 years old. It's not like she didn't live a wonderful fucking long life of lavish. I mean, I'm sure the responsibilities of being queen can be kind of a pain in the ass. You're always in the limelight. You can't just like go to a convenience store and pick up a pack of smokes. Can't do any of those things, and that's gotta suck. But you know what? On the other hand, you're set for life, unless you're Harry and you fuck with the system,
Mhm.
And then even then, Oprah's cashing out, sending him $1 million checks to be on her program and to write up some sort of podcast or whatever. I don't know. I don't follow the royals. The only thing that came out of this that is even mildly annoying is the fact that Charles is now king of England. And if I can't think of a more dweeby ass, more inbred looking motherfucker ever.
Royal family had absolutely no take on my life at all, outside of being annoyed by listening to or having to see it on tabloids all the fucking time.
Yep, when I was a kid.
I know names, I know Charles and all that shit.
Diane.
I don't know anything about them at all.
Prince Harry. Who's the pedophile? The brother of Charles.
Uncle Louis.
Prince Edward. Prince Edward the pedophile. You don't hear about him that much, but he was on the island so many times with whatever his name is, Weinstein. I mean, something went on there. All right, just saying. And they keep him out of the press. Anyhow, enough conspiracy theories. Let me drink to the Queen.
Isn't that like a shot? You're supposed to drink that, Derek. Come on.
99 proof. 99 proof. It tastes more like 180 proof. And it tastes like shit. God damn. Okay.
I expect you to finish it for the show.
I will, but I didn't know the proof. It was called 99 apple whiskey. I should have known 99 stood for the proof. Oh, God. All right, I'm going to move on to something a little more gentle, like my Chimay. I'll get back to that shot after I, have a little more to drink. That's a rough way to start drinking in a night. I'm pregnant. I'm naming it Derek. Hey, man, Derek's a really good name. There aren't a lot of white guys named Derek, which is really cool. So when I remember I don't remember where it was, but I went someplace and we were just having this communication via email, and I showed up and I was white, and this guy's like, "Damn, man, I thought you were going to be black." And I was like, "Well, if you would have heard me on the phone, you probably wouldn't have thought that." But, other than that, I am one of the rare Dereks, spelled that way, by the way. That's white. And that's pretty awesome. There is another one named Derek Ritchie, exactly my name. He is a former superintendent of Kansas City's some Kansas school district, where he lost his job and then he got into some trouble. I don't know, but that's not me. So don't get me confused with that guy. And he's a white guy.
Thing, isn't that that's a running joke on Hangover? The guy have you ever seen Hangover?
Yeah.
So the guy who goes missing.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, we have
Mike
Derek."
Tyson.
It's Derek. And they bring him out, and it's the black comedian. I can't think of his name. It's like, "That's not our Derek. Give us our Derek." I think it's Derek.
Probably. Anyhow,
seen that.
It's a solid name.
He says 99, be a man and go for 200.
I think the worst I ever did was what's that stuff? What do they call it? 190? It's just straight up distilled alcohol, and it tastes like hell. And you put it in the punch bowls, right?
Drink some Everclear. It's good for the body.
Everclear. That was it. I remember the first time I ever had Everclear. It's so alcoholic. What it does, if you take a shot of it or a big swig and you don't know what you're in for, it actually sucks up the oxygen out of your lungs and your throat and your mouth. You feel like you can't breathe for like at least, I don't know, 5 seconds, but it's kind of scary because you're 16 years old. You're at a party in the woods and somebody hands you a shot and you do it. And you're like, what the fuck? I can't breathe. Anyhow, I was a pussy when I was 16. All right. All right. We got questions?
Yeah. We got some stuff we can talk about here real quick.
Okay. Oh, by the way, are you watching Wimbledon at all?
No.
Okay. I am at night, but I couldn't stay up till 3 in the morning to watch that last one. But one thing I can say about the coverage on ESPN Plus, they're playing the fucking most ridiculously stupid songs I have ever heard. Here's the title of one of them. This is how legends are made, is one of the songs. Now, these are real songs written by people. I'm guessing they wrote them thinking, someday someone's going to want that kind of song, that sort of positive vibe in their song to use for the Wimbledon coverage. And then the other one was, this girl could rule the world. The fuck? Nobody gets to rule the world. No one. Boy, girl, doesn't matter. You're not going to rule the world. You know what's important? Rule your world. Your world. The world around you. Be happy with that. If you want to rule the world, that's just never been done before.
Maybe your life is your world, though.
Well, if that's the metaphor, then I'm fine. But she says rule the world, not rule my world. So, you know what I'm saying?
Jose Lopez says it's a popular TikTok song, Grandpa.
It is. I'm never going to TikTok.
What is the TikTok?
That ain't happening.
He's not even on the Twitters, guys. Come on.
TikTok might as well be called FickFock because I could care less either way. The turd in the background. Oh, Farka, I'm late. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. They beat soccer, the best soccer show ever. Well, Jason Davis might argue he has a show called Best Soccer Show. I was there last night watching that show, by the way, and he always reads my freaking things, but then he never acknowledges the one at the end that I said, hey, Jason, when are you coming on the Straight Red Card? When are you coming on our show? Never replies to that one. So I'm starting to wonder. All right. Do you
all right. All the listeners, you need to go and hound his Twitter. And
yes.
Get on the show.
Hound Jason Davis and tell him, come on the show. We think a lot of, you'll have fun here. Although the other guy will probably have more fun because he's more like that. He talks about boobs and shit like that.
Winning.
Night. Huh?
Said winning.
We don't talk about boobs really, but
Yeah, Jose calls us out. We'll come back to you, turd.
What? I missed TikTok start yet. What I missed? TikTok start yet? All right, let's finish the turd. Do you like yucks? Do you like balls? Then you'll love the Straight Red Card. P.S. I have a 14-incher.
Around.
But it's stubby and only 2 inches long. It's really disgusting to still. All right, Michael Cameron, thanks so much for posting here. We appreciate it.
I love the fact that he shows up to our show every show.
I know. He's really dedicated. Oh, that brings me to that. What's that thing that went on between Filippo and some guy who's a blue check writer, soccer writer?
Oh, I'd have to go find it. Let me show this real quick and then I'll find it.
Oh, man, that was weird.
So, Derek.
Yeah.
You catch the Arsenal game today?
You know I didn't. So I was going through all the games when I got home on Paramount Plus, and I just flipped right on past Arsenal. I'm like, yeah, no Americans on Arsenal. No Americans? What do you mean? Turner sits the bench there. Well, he didn't sit the bench today, and I missed the game, so I had to watch the highlights with you, which,
So, yeah, and we'll get back to some more jovial topics, but this is we might as well talk about that real quick. We both watched the extended highlights of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And on Twitter, I was seeing before I left work, people are like, Turner, and then all of a sudden it's like people are like, then people want to know why we don't want him passing out of the back. And I'm like, oh, geez, what did he do? And then I went back and watched the highlights.
Not his fault.
He had one flub. And the only flub, the reason why you said it's not his fault, because I said it too, is the guy played it to his left, like a yard and a half away from his left. He had a lunge for that.
Exactly.
The only thing I would say that he should have done would be to just rip it, get it out of bounds. Don't even fuck around with it.
I would not fuck around with it.
But I would say that I didn't see a single goddamn thing he did wrong.
He had
I mean, it's
three
only the
guys
highlights, but
He had 3 dudes around him. You just boot that one out of the park.
lesson learned, and that would have been really hard if the goal went in. But so I was like, I didn't see much in that game. He made a couple of easy saves, managed the time, etc.
Yeah.
So I mean, nothing to write home. First start.
Nothing to lose your shit about. It wasn't like
Turner did have the PK, but he stood no chance on that one.
No, that was a great, well taken PK.
I mean, even if he guessed right, that would have been a tough one to stop.
Now the real question is, how much more Matt Turner are we going to see? How badly is Ramsdale injured?
That's a great question. I couldn't find much of anything except for that it was like a knock and an old hamstring injury.
That's promising for Turner, because those old hamstring injuries, they just stick around. Not that I'm saying, please, Ramsdale, stay injured. I don't want a guy to be injured, but in this case, I do. So that's a contradiction.
But see, who posts this? Grant Turberville. I don't know how to push that up, but yeah, Grant
Turberville.
No, it's Turber.
Turberville. He changed that?
He quote tweeted somebody that I want to show you real quick.
Okay.
And we all thought Chelsea fans were toxic. So, you got that one?
Matt Turner, let me tell you something, you fucking American. Get the fuck out of my club and go back to fucking America. Okay, where's he from? I don't recognize the flag. I'm not going to
the name of Frenchie, so
that doesn't mean anything. That is not a French flag. Someone know that flag? I don't know that flag.
Yeah.
But all I can say is I'm not going to stoop to his level, because when you bust on a guy who's obviously Asian, everyone's going to say I'm a racist. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But if he weren't Asian, I'd call him all kinds of things, because he's a moron. And what a nasty thing to say. Jesus Christ. You stupid American. Get off my fucking club. Like you have any say in it, Mr. Frenchie. You dumbass.
He wants Turner to fuck America?
Turner fucks shits. Eats shits for breakfast.
Let's see here. This is a fun little interaction that Pete had today.
This is like a gay porn name. Turner fucks America.
So Jared Dean goes, LOL, he's better than 11 Yankoff. At least I respect Tack. And this is a picture of Herc and Tack. And people are like, I can't believe you took a picture with Tack, type of thing. And 11 Pete goes, yeah, I respect him too. But could you come up with something way more creative than insults? I've been compared to Hitler and ISIS. Got to up your game, bro. So I just said, hey, can one outdo Hitler and ISIS? Now nothing can hurt you.
That's really weird to like Tack a lot and then not like Pete. I don't know. That's weird. I think Pete's a fairly likable person.
Yeah, maybe one day he rubbed somebody the wrong way. But after that whole thing, man, it started a whole meme war of offensive terms.
He should have used more He should have used more Vaseline when he's rubbing someone the wrong way, and then just stick to 11 yanks and no more, and he'll be fine.
All right, let's see. I'm just scrolling back down. You got any stories while I'm looking? Well, I guess I don't know if everybody knows this, but good news for Norwich. Looks like Rashica is on the move.
Hell yes! Get him out of there.
A loan agreement, not a permanent deal, though. So he might be back.
Send him to Greedy Town FC. That's where he should play.
He's off to Turkey.
We got a town named Greedyville? If we do, they need to send him to that. Greedyville FC, like 4th Division, USA. There he can be greedy all he wants, because he'd be playing against guys with beer guts and, taking shots at halftime and shit. Anyhow, I never liked Rashica. I'm glad he is gone. I'm glad that everyone else figured out his whole shtick, and he's just
just to fuck the ball away. Yeah, that was a great shtick.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of guy. If you give you're at practice, he's the guy that would, and you had one ball, he'd just try to have the ball all to himself all practice. So Yeah, I'm glad. Bye, Rashika. Have a good one. All right, what else we got?
Was the one you were talking about with the P or Filippo? Was that the? Yeah, I know which one. I know which one this is now.
Yeah,
Hold
I
on.
can. You
Right
sent
here.
it to me. Yeah.
Yep.
I wasn't.
So
I had some
he-
questions on it, which is why I'm asking you to bring it up.
Yeah.
Some context.
So I'm
'Cause I
gonna just go ahead and scroll up and start where he started it.
Okay. Because
Okay, so Filippo has a way of just rubbing what
Again?
he would call MLS shills the wrong way.
No.
So all of a sudden, just like gets them going. I'm not sure what it is, but
Yeah.
he has a way of doing it.
Very weird.
Yeah. So here's Filippo quoting Nico Moreno. Nico Moreno. He never responded back to me though. I'm kind of upset.
Huh.
If he's watching the show.
I don't even know who he is. I don't know.
He works for Seattle or works with Seattle. Covers them at least.
The Sounders? Okay.
Yeah. So basically, Nico talks about how if Gio's fully recovered and he's in form, then he's going to go. He's an absolute lock to Qatar. So Tack says, not so old but gold. Can't believe this app is free. If Reyna's healthy, he's should 100% be on the World Cup roster regardless of form.
He would not be an absolute lock. If he's healthy, he's an absolute fucking lock. And this is Nico Moreno must be, sucking some rolled on cock or something, because that's all I can think of. That or Morris, because I don't get this. I really don't get this. Of course he's going to go. He's one of the best players that we've ever had and may ever have.
And I'll agree with Tack on this one. And if he's 100% healthy and he can play, which we're seeing he is,
yep.
Then yeah, absolutely getting called in regardless.
I don't care if he's 20 minutes fit. Bring him in.
Exactly.
20 minutes to go.
That 20 minutes would be fucking gold.
And then it gets personal, right? So Tack just made he came back. The trolls are back. He calls him a troll.
Trolls are back in town. Yeah.
What?
Is it not a mute point?
Moot point. And moot in that mute. Yeah, it's MOOT. Jesus Christ.
That if he's healthy and on form, etc., etc. Unlike your usual take on hating all MLS players and not believing they should be on the team, I just see talent and how they would fit. So, Tex says, nice try on the MLS hate card.
Yeah, I don't think he hates MLS. That's ridiculous. No. Yeah.
I mean, he follows Orlando. His favorite player is Breck Shea. And just like anybody else who may criticize MLS, there are a number of MLS players that they have no problem calling up to the national team.
Listen, he's really good. He's friends with Caden Clark. He's friends with a lot of MLS players. And he's had them on his show. I just don't think he's an MLS hater. I don't know. That's just not true in any way. And I don't know where you got that, Nico, but we're going to find out where he got it. Watch.
Mm-hmm. So after the nice try on the MLS hate card, he says, if the glove fits, fellas, quite a few MLS journalists are on to you guys. So I was warned ahead of time. Either way, hope Gio is fantastic at the World Cup.
He was warned ahead of time by the MLS dweebs at the MLS where they do their show. Like Weeby called him up and said, hey, Nick Moreno, I want you to be careful. There's this mean guy out there named Filippo Silva, also a.k.a. tactical manager. Watch out for him. He's an MLS hater, and he's going to try to bring you down like he brings us down. Don't let him do it.
The concept that he already formed an opinion based off of what other people are saying is what gets me. And that's basically what I tweeted to him.
Yeah.
I said, why not converse with people and form your own opinion instead of taking opinions of others as your own? You may come to the same conclusion. You might not like Filippo. You might not like Pete. It doesn't matter, but at least you try it. Converse with them, find out what they think, and you'll find 95% of the time, if you just talk to somebody, you're fine. You're fine with it. I mean, you may not agree with them, but you get over it.
We would probably get along with Nick Moreno if he wasn't, being a Moreno right now. A Morano, excuse me. So I don't know. I mean, I just never. One thing I don't do is somebody comes to me and says, "Oh God, so and so, he's a real cocksucker. Don't hang out with him." If that were the case, we would have never invited Jimmy Conrad on our show. Just kidding, Jimmy. Just kidding. You're not a cocksucker. No one said that about you. But that's what we're all working against right now. And even we are to some extent, I'm sure, at a much lesser level because we're nice. Not here, but Brett's very nice.
I feel like it wasn't even a typo. I think it is a Freudian slip by Nico.
Mood?
He doesn't want to talk to Tech. Mute point indeed.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's been warned. He's been told.
Yeah.
God, that's pathetic. I can't believe guys like this who write or work for clubs like the Seattle Senators are so fucking thin-skinned. I really don't understand it. I don't get it. You're a journalist, dude. You're going to get criticized for things you say. That's how it goes. We get criticized. You just got to live with that.
I feel like we get criticized less because we make fun of ourselves.
Well, that's true, but everyone's going to get criticized if you're even mildly in the public air. That's how it goes.
Sorry, I like this one.
Nico's daily drinker is Fireball. Does that make?
Dude, I saw a Fireball keg for $75 at the liquor store today. It was just like a little tiny, 10-inch keg. And I'm sitting there going like, nah.
No, drinking.
My wife likes Fireball.
Drinking Fireballs, like depending on who you are, could be one of 20 evidence pieces that you might be a douche. So
my brother-in-law was like craving some fucking fire, like what's the candy that's like tastes like Fireball?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Someone else will.
Somebody come up with it in the chat because it's bothering me.
I fucking hate that flavor, so I would never drink it.
But Jose says that's his point. But he was craving it, and he ordered this huge, like 5-pound thing on Amazon of them, and he's like, it wasn't going to come until like Monday. But he's like, oh, I'm craving them right now. I want them right now. I'm like, dude, just go to the store and get some fucking Fireball. It tastes like the same thing.
Yeah. My brother drinks that on occasion. I'm like, ugh, how do you drink that? That is disgusting shit. But then again, so is the shit I just drank. So, and it was 99 proof, for fuck's sake. Should have known better. I'm much more enjoying this Chimay in this beautiful, elegant Belgian glass.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Let's see your September camp prediction roster by Matt Doyle. I think it was Matt Doyle. We double check that before I pull up. Matt Doyle and Tom Bogert.
Well, Bogert should help a little.
I'll zoom in on this and then I'll pull it up. I can't really zoom in on that. All right, that's as big as it's going to get. Let's pull it up here.
That's what she said.
Hey. Some goalkeeper, they got Matt Turner, Sean Johnson, and Ethan Horvath.
Okay. Glad you can read that minuscule shit.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm reading it,
Yeah.
So what do you think about that one?
What was it?
Matt Turner, Sean Johnson, Ethan Horvath.
Does he
basically Johnson's taking over for Stefan? Stefan's spot.
I mean, I guess I can think that maybe Doyle thinks he might still be injured by then.
Maybe.
We really
that's right. This is September. Yeah. Okay. Scratch it. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, Johnson right now is tied for the highest number of clean sheets with Blake in MLS. Although I'll say Slonina is only 2 games behind him, and that he plays for a shittier team.
He does.
That's much more impressive.
So yeah, it could be Slonina or it could be Johnson. I think Johnson has showed Berhalter that he's a loyal dude and he's stuck and hung in there. So
are they just fireballs? I think fireballs.
They're just fireballs. Yeah,
they're not red hots and they're not hot tamales. It must just be fireballs, which is ironic because we're saying like, oh, it tastes like fireball.
Yeah, and that's what it tastes like.
All right, I haven't eaten that shit in a long time.
Yeah.
So center back, they got Chris Richards. Yeah.
Yes.
Aaron Long. Yeah. I'm saying he's going. I don't see Berhalter bailing away at this point.
I'm sorry, Aaron Long's played so bad this season.
I agree. I don't think he's going to not include him.
Matt Miazga in 2 games has played better, or 3 now. Played better than Long has all season long since he's got to MLS. So if I'm taking somebody, I'm taking the guy who kicked my dog instead.
I mean, he's got some range on that shit.
Yes.
They got James Sands. It's had a rough turn of events recently.
Anybody just watch James Sands be a clown this week?
But you mean Berhalter also did just have dinner with him?
I don't care. He had to bring him along. What, is he only gonna have dinner with fucking CCV?
Hey, Malik and CCV, can you guys come?
Yeah.
What about Sands? Do you want Sands come?
No. Don't invite James.
I heard my name. Did somebody say my name? Yeah, we're going out to dinner. You want to come?
Sands, center back, beat on first goal on the corner.
Nobody jumped for that corner.
He didn't. He was planted like a tree.
So it said nobody jumped.
Doesn't matter. It was his man. It's his man.
Fair enough.
Own goal. All right. That's 2 goals you're responsible for out of 4.
At least he scored.
What about the bad pass that he made to set up the 4th goal out of the back? 3 goals out of 4. James Sands, responsibly or partially responsible in that game. All right. Well, I'm glad he had dinner with Berhalter, but I hope that's as far as it goes right now. I don't think Sands is earning it for me. Not yet. Sorry.
Derek, the turd wasn't around at the beginning. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking a Chimay currently. I tried to take a shot of this 99 apple whiskey. Ugh, it was disgusting. I didn't know it was 99 proof. I got an Old Smoky, and then I got vodka as well. And then I've got cranberry juice.
Some TikTokers bathwater. Don't drink that. Don't do that.
No, I'm not touching anything.
Unless you're chasing with that whiskey to kill the germs.
I'm not doing nothing with TikTok.
All right. Other CBs, we got Zimmerman, of course.
Yep.
And CCV.
Although Zimmerman's not having the greatest season either, but he did just score a goal.
Not having a great recent season. I'm sure he played well.
Recently, he's playing pretty well. Yeah. So, yeah. In the middle, I can see that. Tyler Adams and
you're skipping the wingback or skipping the backs.
Oh, okay.
Left back, we have Sam Vines and Robinson. Jedi.
I don't know. Is Robinson going to be healthy enough?
That's a great question.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't think so. 4 to 6 weeks? No, I don't think he's going to be there. So you can mark. And then, I'm bringing Sam Vines.
Yeah, Sam Vines has to jump in because if you don't have your standard go-to left back, you have to bring in somebody that can play left back.
Yeah, don't even put Yedlin over there. All right, Greg? Do not do it. What? What?
The right backs, they got Dest, they got Yedlin, and they got Cannon.
I'm sorry, but Cannon's not really a right back in real life. He doesn't play that. He hasn't played that position for his club team for eons. He plays a right center back, but
even when we play a 4-3-3, Cannon does sit back, and they play more of a 3 back on the attack.
Yeah, he does not go up.
So he doesn't go up, yeah.
I don't know what use Cannon is, unless he's versatile and a useful possible backup somewhere.
I think he's perfectly fine getting up in the attack. I just think that the way he's been playing for his club and maybe how Berhalter's suggesting he does it so that way Jedi can constantly get in the attack. Maybe he's asking to sit back further.
Maybe. And I also heard that a lot of people are saying that Shaq Moore's playing better than Yedlin since he got to MLS. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't really followed Yedlin's trajectory since joining MLS outside the first couple games. How's he doing?
It's been really up and down, to be honest, for Yedlin. He'll have a good game. He'll have 2 bad games. He'll have a good game. He'll have 1 bad game. So, yeah, kind of inconsistent. The games I have seen personally, he's done really well. The games I have missed, and then I've read about how he played, he has played bad. I haven't seen it personally myself, but I do not watch his team. They're not my favorite MLS team. So, all right. So midfield, Adams and
Acosta at the 6.
That's realistic.
Probably, I'd imagine. McKinney, Lugadeo Torre.
All right.
Musa and Eric Williamson.
Nope.
It's an interesting pick there.
That's too late for Eric, and I hate saying that because I really like him as a player. But it's just one
of my bright spots during the Gold Cup. Shame he got injured because he probably would have partook during the qualifiers.
If it happens, I'll live with it because I like Williamson. Yep. But I just don't see it happening. I mean,
you know who they left off in this lineup? They left Roldan off.
Yes. Well, that's good news because he's hurt. He's hurt.
Oh, is he hurt? Okay.
He's injured.
So wonder if Williamson would have been included or if it would have been rolled on at that point.
Man, do you think they brought enough forwards on this roster?
What? Yeah.
6,
Feels
10 forwards? Well, I'm guessing they're saying, well, Reyna can play midfield. So can Aronson. So
can Tillman.
Yep, exactly. So I can't read the other ones.
So can Sargent.
Well, Sargent can play everything.
So Chris Pulisic, yes.
Yes.
Tillman, I'm thinking so, yes.
Yep, me too.
Morris.
Well, that's highly questionable at this point. Yep.
Maybe. Aronson, Reyna, and Areola.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that are questionable are probably going to still make it, Areola and Morris.
I suspect Areola would be included regardless because he's still performing. When Morris is performing too, don't get me wrong on this. But if you have to take one,
Areola's having way better of a season than Morris.
Yes.
Way better, yeah. Areola's kicking ass at Dallas, dude. And so is Legit, by the way. That doesn't mean they need to be on the national team or they fit into Greg's system. Certainly, the way Legit plays does not fit into Greg's system, but Areola does. So he's probably going to make.
Legit was because he kept getting brought up. Colin kept bringing it up back in the past. He hasn't brought it up in a while, but basically, and I think he agrees with what my take is that the midfield spot for Legit to play in does not exist in Berhalter's 4-3-3.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple.
We don't play a CAM. I know I'm a fucking broken record, but we just simply don't. Don't call Musa a CAM. He may go forward on occasion, but in a lot of cases now we're seeing Musa go back and backup with backup with Adams. So does that make McKennie the CAM? Not really. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we just don't play that. That sort of pure number 10. Sabi Mihailovic should replace Morris. I would have no problem with that. I would also be fine with him replacing Williamson at this point.
Sure.
And be a midfield option as well. Although, again, he is more of a CAM / winger, Mihailovic. He started out as a midfielder, right, in Chicago?
Yes. More as a center midfielder. Then he got pushed out to the wing, and he kind of plateaued out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got moved over to Montreal, and Montreal played him as an attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
So we know where he's going to be, where he'd be game at. Quite frankly, in the 4-3-3, Berhalter's 4-3-3, you imagine that he'd have to play more or less the Pulisic role, where Pulisic checks back into the midfield so much.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have to be Mihailovic's role in that sense. But then again, that could be Reyna's role too. Reyna wants to check back into the midfield.
Yeah. Well, again, if Mihailovic or Williamson or both make this September thing, that'd be fine with me.
Is Weah injured?
I'm just not sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, he is. Yet to play a game this season. And out there they got what? Reyna, Aronson, and Areola. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right now that makes sense, but Weah's healthy. Somebody's got to go on this.
I think almost like Williamson will leave. Obviously, nobody thinks he's part of Berhalter's system or setup right now.
He has, and he has actually gone out of his way, Williamson, to say how hard it is to learn Berhalter's system.
Yeah.
So
that was good. That was fun.
Maybe Berhalter has compromised somewhat since then, and he said that he has had to make compromises on his own system.
Yeah.
So, yep.
But I'm saying maybe Williamson out and then Aronson back into the midfield. That opens a spot on the wing. But again, if Weah is injured, then obviously the point is mute.
Yeah. I mean, I think moot.
Yes.
I actually think Aronson.
That's gonna be a running gag now. It's just like Miazga kicking the dog.
Yeah.
Every point's gonna be mute.
Well, it is funny. Moot is a word we used in New York. The kids did when I was a kid. Like if you were to give someone a high five and they're like, yeah, and you're like, moot, and you just point it, just pull it away, go moot.
Oh, it's I guess is your way of saying psych.
Yes. Yep.
Fair enough.
Same. It's a psych, but we said moot.
So Weah, Samuel Cutt says Weah has returned to training and he might be ready.
We'll see. He's not a normal starter there anyhow. So he's a backup guy, and we'll see how much time he gets. They have Jesus Ferreira, Sargent, Pifak,
Vasquez.
I think this is very close to being correct. I think maybe we'll see 4 center forwards.
So what is that? 3, 6, 8, 10, 13, 15, 19, 25, 29.
No,
a random
way.
number. That's a random fucking number.
That is 2 more than Berhalter can handle. Trust me.
How are you even going to plan a training session with 29 players? Impossible. Star Wars Satan brings up a great point. P-Fox
is. I don't know. No one has mentioned how serious it is yet. I went and looked it up. German media, they don't really know. It was supposedly not anything big, but then he didn't play in Union Berlin's game today. I said it like a German. And they lost to Union Saint Gilloise. I can't remember how it's pronounced. It's a Belgian team, I believe, and they are. We had an American on that team for a while, a year ago or so. Can't remember who it was, but anyhow, they lost 1-0. I mean, that's a game they're supposed to win, especially the form they've been in. But they really look like they missed PFOC today out there. This is America. I'm entitled to my opinion. It's a free country, and I believe Yedlin is good to go to Qatar. I think he is going to go to Qatar.
I think he'll go to Qatar. Whether or not it's based off of performance is neither here nor there. But he knows the system, and he has experience.
And he's been to a World Cup before, and we might need at least one player there.
At least one. Yeah.
I mean, since Brooks is definitely not going, it would be a good idea to have one guy who's been there.
This is Green's time. Green's going to come back. This is my time. My time.
I swear to God, don't even get me rolling on Firth, one of the worst teams Americans play on.
Well, okay, so you bring that up, but U.S. is a soccer country says.
No Busio?
No Busio?
I told you, it ain't going to happen. Busio is not what you thought he was. He's what I thought he was. Not very good. Just watch Jack DeVries start every game before he does when he's healthy and back. I mean, what is he, on his 4th time having COVID at this point?
All right. Well, why don't we bring up a segment?
All right, I got one for you.
Oh, I was going to bring a Berhalter interview segment.
Oh, okay, we can do Berhalter first because I was eventually going to get to Tuchel's firing.
Yeah, that's one of the main topics. We'll get to that. Well, Derek, we're only 45 minutes into this. We can't talk about the actual topic yet.
Only? Jesus Christ.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Well, I got to stop sharing this. I got to get back with some audio.
All right, I'm gonna dip into the 99 again. Let's see how this goes.
You said I finished my drink already.
It's so gross.
Just chug it all, man. Be a man. Put some hair on your chest.
I'm gonna be. If I did that, I will be like you were, like 4 shows ago, when you were slurring your words and almost falling asleep during the show.
Never slurred.
And I was telling you during the show, man, hey, let's cut the show. You're like, I'm fine. I'm fine. No,
I've got to put on a performance for the fans.
You haven't
listening to us constantly for at least an hour and a half, 2 days a week. Drunk Brett has to show from time to time.
You didn't have any sleep for 2 days. You ate 1 sandwich in 2 days, and I mean, you're doing this show and chugging down fucking drinks. I'm like, he's not gonna make it very long.
See, look. That was a good show.
This is a good show, man.
We got a hell yeah. Let's get you slurring.
All right. Do we have this timestamp, or you just have things you know?
No, this is just a minute 44 clip. This is
okay.
This is all talking about what MLS can do to be better, because this is making the rounds on Twitter. So I figured let's just talk about that part.
Where the fuck are they at? An antique store? What the fuck's going on in this interview?
He's got a green screen. It makes him look professional and classy. There's no books or anything. He should have some books up there, like Soccer 101, Soccer for Dummies.
No, that
it's
can't
called
be
football, you stupid American.
No, it's not a green screen. It is not a green screen. They were actually in that room.
Yeah.
And as far as
it's just set for extra time.
They're moving out of that building, U.S. Soccer, by the way. Did you know that?
Staying in Chicago?
Yeah, they're moving into a corporate building, U.S. Soccer.
Just curious why they continue to stick with Chicago. I mean,
hot dogs?
Why?
The fire?
They haven't even hosted a World Cup qualifier there since when? Last one I recall was like 2008.
Stubbornness? How about St. Louis as a home base?
They really dig that the winters in Chicago, I guess.
Fuck that. No, thank you. That's one of the reasons I never moved to Chicago like so many of my music friends did. Berhalter at the thrift store. That's at the Salvation Army. Weeby couldn't find a better spot than the Salvation Army for this interview. A lot of people were very impressed by this podcast, helped Greg's image. I did watch it yesterday, and Greg was so clean and clear. Said almost nothing important at all. I mean, he was mildly entertaining, talking about basketball and other things that had nothing to do with U.S. soccer. And then, yeah, he was fun to listen to. When he talked about soccer, I was rather bored. I snoozed it because he didn't say anything new. He didn't reveal anything about himself, except that he really, really likes Aaron Wong because he gave him another bounced his name again. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice that he was at least critical of MLS a little bit. I mean, he could have said, "Hey, you know, MLS is growing; it's doing its thing; it's improving year after year. There's nothing that needs to change."
No, he said things need to change still. Yeah. There's some ways to go still.
Ways to go.
Yep.
Well, let's go and pull this up because that's basically what we're talking about here.
Okay, let's do it.
What I've seen in MLS since I've left is just the youth on the field, right? Like when I was.
So this is kind of a positive thing he's mentioning.
You know. It wasn't even close to that in terms of you know the amount of young players that are able to play, or if they were playing, they were sometimes foreigners. You know, we had Milton who came in at 19 and was starting. Arthur who was very young. You know, Will was like the one young American guy, right? And there wasn't really young players. And now when you look across the league, at any given day, you have young.
So he says Will Trapp was one of the young guys. So is he saying he's responsible for butchering Will Trapp's career?
I guess, but you know what? When you refer to Will Trapp, please just do not call him just Will, because there's going to be a gigantic amount of people who are going to be Will. The fuck is Will? Will who?
Will I Am?
Will I Am? Yeah.
I can't believe that was our first Will.
Yeah, I mean, it's
kind of like Will Johnson or something like that. You know, there's an idea. At least he played soccer.
Yeah, I mean, Willy Wonka? I mean, who's he talking about? He's talking about, you know, Will Trapp. Like he's a fucking household name or something. He's not.
You remember Will? Yeah, Will. Yeah.
I love Will.
No?
Oh, how many teams?
Just me? Just me? Okay.
I don't even know where he plays anymore, Will Trapp.
Yeah, no, guys, Chicago's a great city. I enjoy it thoroughly when I go up and visit.
I just can't handle the winters, my friend. That's it.
It can be brutal.
Yep.
Can be brutal.
I'm already shrinking as it is, and I don't need any more help with shrinkage during the winters. So I'm not really.
You talking about your member down below?
No, I'm not talking about my cock and balls, but I am saying I'm shrinking as a person. Yeah. That particular area seems to stay the same, so that's good.
So you're saying if you move down to a warmer climate, you would actually grow taller?
I probably would have shrunk less, I would think.
But India doesn't really get that cold anymore.
I don't think it has anything to do with the weather necessarily. It's just that my back is sort of compressing. Like I have a sciatic nerve issue. And so, yeah, cold does not help it at all. Yeah. I feel more pain. So
there we go. That was my thought process of the city too. Even Indianapolis for the most part. When kids get in the picture, Chicago's less enticing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good party town. We played many a venue. My band did in Chicago, and we loved it. Did not like some of the hotels we stayed in. I mean, we stayed at one of these ancient hotels was built in the 20s, and it had a fucking elevator that you could fit 2 people in. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, fuck that. I'm not going ever back to. It's like a coffin. I am not going back to that hotel. Chris Fairburn. Yeah, I'm from Florida, and I went to my cousin's Navy graduation in the Great Lakes in the dead of winter, and I did not realize how cold it was going to be in my tank top and sandals. Yeah, well, yes, I'm sure you were shocked. Yeah, somebody should have warned you. One of my sons is a Navy guy.
Yeah.
Retired. So I had to go up there for that graduation too once. I don't even remember where it was, but it was in Chicago. Pretty sure it was in Chicago.
But on the pier?
I don't think so, no.
Maybe?
It was in a giant amphitheater, / gymnasium / I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't remember. It was years ago.
How dare you, Jose?
Deep dish equals overrated. I'm going to mostly agree with him. I think it is overrated. I don't like the crust. I really don't like that sort of almost pie sort of type of
Broadcast
crust.
over. Can't end the broadcast. We're done.
Now, I have had the big popular one there, and it's fucking was really good, but I could only eat like 2 pieces. It was so thick.
I mean, that's kind of the point.
So rich.
There's a couple of big ones in
Giordano's?
Giordano's, yeah.
Okay, that's the one I went to. And
You've got a Giordano's just down the street from you now.
Yeah, they branched out.
You got North Castleton. Do you think because
it's never as good when they branch out? I'm just telling you, quality control goes down.
You know why? You know why? It's the water. Unless they ship Great Lake water down, it's never going to taste the same.
That's what they say about New York pizza dough too.
Yeah,
it's the water.
It's 100%. Yes, it's the ingredients you use. If you're going to use water to help make the dough and all that shit, here in Indy, it's going to be different because you're going to have Morse Reservoir, you're going to have Geist Reservoir water.
Right. That's why when I go buy my pizza dough, right, I go to Trader Joe's because their dough at Trader Joe's is made in New York City, and that has the right water.
Snappy bitch.
I'm saying it makes for great pizza. It is
fair play.
Yeah. So. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Is that all, Greg? Oh,
and that's going to help the development of our group when you have young players playing professionally. If I had to comment on a couple of things that could improve at MLS, I think it would be the pressure on the ball and the compactness of the teams. The games are too wide open. Players are receiving the ball without pressure too often, much too much time on the ball. And when you look at European games, it's just not like that. Mm-hmm. It's about, speed of decision making. Mm-hmm. And so I think, that's something we can improve on. And listen, there's a number of different reasons why there is that, right? We're playing sometimes in 110-degree weather. The travel's a lot, but I think they're and in playoffs, what happens when playoff games come? Everything gets tighter, But you'd like to see that consistently throughout the year because you'll just be producing better players. When your players when you export players, they'll be able to deal with the demands of the game at a higher level.
I mean, first off, listen to this. What the hell is this noise? Fuck off, extra time. Fix that shit.
It's a machine gun.
It is miserable. Why would they do that? Why would they do that to listeners?
So does that make Greg a MLS hater?
He's an MLS hater and a Euro snob, basically. Yep.
Wow. How the fucking tide has turned. All of a sudden, he sounds a lot like Filippo.
That's the thing. Everybody's snipping that clip and saying, this is what we've been saying.
That's all we've been saying.
All we've been saying.
We've been saying it's a league that's improving. You should have seen it back in 96, 97, 98. It was atrocious. Soccer. One team had all the best players, DC United. Yeah. They dominated. And then Galaxy kind of hung in there a couple times. But it was like 2 teams. And then you had a bunch of teams with 1 star player and a bunch of fucking rejects. You had a guy that was on a soap who played for the LA Galaxy. He was on a soap. Yeah, he played 3rd division soccer in LA Galaxy, and he played for the LA Galaxy because he was famous as a soap dude or whatever.
And everybody was saying that, basically saying this has been our point. But you guys label all of us as haters because we are critical of an aspect. And the players who do get sold and go to Europe, what's the first thing they say?
It's a lot faster there.
It's a lot faster.
Yep.
Yes, 100%.
Yep.
And now Berhalter's saying it, and of course people are like, "Yeah, that's a great point." I'm like, "Of course it's a great point. We've been saying it too."
Yep.
I thought you were doing something. I thought you were doing 11 games.
Thought I was choking my chicken.
Yeah.
No, I was just getting the old whatever. Ready.
Old Smoky.
Mm-hmm.
On top of Old Smoky.
These are good. This is actual shit.
Is it
you
covered
wanna
in
drink.
cheese?
Nope, but it's creamy and tastes like caramel.
Okay,
It's
we're
very good,
almost
very
an hour in. Let's start talking about the topic, I guess. Derek, you're roboting. Am I roboting? Did I? Anybody in the chat, can you hear me? Is it a me thing? Or is it a Derek thing? Fuck. The chat's not with Huck. It's a me thing. Oh, it's Derek. Thank you, David. Woo! Derek, I don't know if you can hear us, man, but you froze. You froze. So while I guess Derek's working on that, I guess we can start kind of talking about the topic at hand. So yeah, Tuchel's been fired. That's oh no, it's just me. It's the bread show. I mean, come on, it looks better anyways. But yeah, so Tuchel's been fired. That's a shame. I don't think any of the US fan base was really hoping that would happen. So, but the big question is this going to help out Pulisic? And the answer has got to be yes. And I know we're going to rehash this when Derek does come back here in a second. But bring in your backup, Colin. I don't think Colin's here today, actually. I'll send him the link. How about that? No, but I mean, a new coach, I think, is going to open the doors for him. Has to. Nothing can be worse. It can't be any worse than what's been happening to him recently. Yes, Dan W. Yes, the Chelsea fans are acting like he died. It's like they're holding their own ceremony. Pay respect to the Champions League winner. He won them a Champions League. Why? How could you possibly fire him after that? Oh, what a load of shit posters they are. And then a lot of people, and I'm not going to be able to find any of the tweets about it. I need to start liking or doing something to make sure they stick here. But there are a lot of people like, yeah, Pulisic had his dad call the owner and got Tuchel fired. I'm like, do you really think Pulisic has that power? Do you think his dad has that power? I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. But I think we're all the better for it because, I could care less about Chelsea. Let me state this up front. I could give two shits less than a fuck about Chelsea, how they perform, how they play. But I do want to see Pulisic do well. I do want to see him in Champions League and all that shenaniganry. So I want them to do better in that sense. But they've been playing like shit. And it doesn't bother me one way or another. But if they're playing like shit and Pulisic was playing consistently, then it's neither here nor there. Let's see what we got here. We got Tuchel's only good for 1 to 2 seasons. I guess season and a half probably. Let's see. He brought after Lampard left. He shored up the defense, made them a more solid team that season. Then he did well and won the Champions League the next one, and then just shit the bed after that. You think Klopp's next, huh? You think Liverpool's gonna get rid of him? That'll be interesting. Chelsea's back to being Chelsea, firing managers on the whim. Well, I mean, I don't think that's ever changed. I mean, they had Lampard for a season and a half, and then they fired him, and then they brought in Tuchel for a season and 3/4, roughly. Yeah. Derek's taking a massive one. Mine went down. Let's see. Derek's internet apparently went down. Let's see. I'm running solo, bitch. Get back on. I don't know. His internet shouldn't be a problem. He was the one that was talking about hotspotting meetings and shit, and it always worked. So just hotspot your device. This is the longest Brett stream ever. This is weird. Al, what reaction do you think? What reaction are you talking about? We're going to be good once his internet is down. Well, just covered a lot of topics here, and then we'll probably end the show. But Al, what reaction are you talking about? Just the fact they got two assists. Do you think people are blowing that out of proportion? It's possible. I mean, but he's back. He played something like 70 minutes. Got those 2 assists. Looked good. Mind you, not necessarily against the top team in the world, but it is what it is. Straight back card. I like that. It has a nice ring to it, right, Adam? Hold on. Hot spot it. All right, we'll see if we can get it back in here. We might barely touch the topic. This might be the issue with actually postponing our topics until towards the end, is that there might be a technical failure. But 2 assists, and he's the one. Now, he was the one before the 2 assists. That's the problem, Al. No, everybody sees the ceiling. They're like, oh, my God, this guy, if he can only stay healthy, what could he amount to? We'll see. I think people are just super fucking stoked that he's back. Like I said, he got about 70 minutes, notched 2 assists in the Champions League. It's going to make everybody happy. I mean, people were ecstatic. American fans were ecstatic for Weston McKennie scoring the lone goal in the Juve match. I think PSG was a little lucky that Juve didn't capitalize on some of their chances. Obviously, their goalkeeper saved their ass. But it is what it is. It's a tough group. Yeah. Still waiting for him to see what he's going to say about this. I will not Joe Patrol. Thank you. I like our channel, and I like to keep it running, and I don't think we need that kind of a strike. No, so I don't think the Reyna reaction is it's probably a little overblown, but not overly, in the sense that everybody's just happy to have him back, and he played well. But let's see how it progresses. My big question is, does Dortmund go back to reverting to playing it incredibly safe and slow with him? Like, do they bench him again, give him a couple minutes after this? I mean, he didn't show like the injury was holding him back in that match. But then again, he didn't show it beforehand before he got re-injured in the end of last season. So we'll see. Well, I guess at the very minimum, let's just roll through. Oh, he's back.
I'm hotspotting it.
That's what.
Fucking internet went down, dude. You're like, hotspot. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm working on it.
I was like running for like 8 to 10 minutes or solo style, Derek.
I know you must be trembling in fear.
I was bouncing all around. So I guess we can kind of rehash topics. I kind of talked about the topics a bit.
Chelsea.
And I talked about how this might be the issue with holding off when we hold off our topics until the very end. That some technical failure might occur. We might lose out on the topic itself.
We may not do the topic at all. So what did you talk about? Did you talk about Pulisic while I was gone?
Let's talk about Pulisic again real quick. I basically said that Tuchel's firing is definitely a positive for him in the sense that it can't be any worse at this point. He was barely playing for Tuchel in the end. He was not playing him in the right spot, in the right formation that benefits him. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But at this point, all of it's on him. He's got to perform.
He's got to perform. Yeah, number one.
Henry, this is.
But Jamie Carragher said Pulisic isn't good enough for Chelsea. That guy can suck a cock. That's bullshit and not true. And I know that because I've seen Pulisic play very well for Chelsea and be the best player on the field numerous times, especially the season that he scored 11 goals. So fuck off, Jamie Carragher.
But he was
Dempsey should have taken him to the shed for that.
But the season of COVID, he had the return from COVID. He was like their leading scorer, wasn't he? Something like that.
Not the whole
leading scorer, maybe
thing,
just
but
just
it was
just
for a
second
while.
leading scorer or something like that. And then the following season, he had the best goal and assist ratio per 90 minutes on the team, despite the fact that he only notched like 1,200 minutes in the entire season and was injured several games.
Here's the thing.
So people are bitching and bitching and bitching. Oh, he's not producing, but he is producing. He might not have great games consistently, but he is producing.
Well, this season, no one on Chelsea's producing.
Nobody's producing.
It's been a shitty season, and that's why Tuchel's gone. Even George Benson finally came around to it yesterday, and I thought, Jesus, dude, how long are you going to hold on to this guy? Let him go. He's horrible to watch, and even he admits it. The games were boring as fuck. Who wants to watch that garbage?
Berlin just joined.
Yeah, bitches. Hey, we did have some cable issues, like my TV doesn't work right now, but I've hotspotted it, so here I am. My hotspot works a lot better than Brett's.
Fuck yeah, it does.
But let me say this: the real key here is that Graham Potter was named the manager today. Now the weird thing is, Graham Potter likes to play 5 in the back a lot too. Okay, or 3 in the back, depending on how you look at it. Left wing back, right wing back. So does that really help? I don't know if it does yet, but here's the good news. Last season for Brighton, 16 of the 32 games, that's half the games that Potter managed Brighton, they played some version of a 4-4-2, a 4-1-1, and yes, folks, even a 4-2-3-1. Played a 4-2-3-1 last season at least 6 or 5 times. I think it was 5. Anyhow, I went back and looked at all the stats, and his preferred formation is 3-4-2-1. But even in that setup, in a 3-4-2-1, there's more opportunities for Pulisic in that 2-1, right? So we'll see what Graham does. That was a motorcycle. Graham cannot go there and do the same thing Tuchel did and play the same formation and play the same sort of boring soccer. So he's going to do something his own way. Graham Potter is a very smart manager, and I think that he is. I was just about to say the word flexible, motherfucker. God damn, you're quick. Thanks, Chambers. He's not married to one formation. He will vary it up. He will make changes depending on who the opponent is and what their weaknesses are. He is not a Tuchelite. Like, Tuchel turned into the most predictable manager in the Premier League. And it only took people 2 years to figure out what he does. And then he turned into Grumpy Tuchel, like he usually did at PSG or Dortmund. Yeah.
Somebody mentioned it while you were out there doing the 11 Yanks. But yeah, he's good. Tuchel is good for about 1 to 2 seasons.
That's about it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's his. Although we saw Marcotti on ESPN going fucking batshit yesterday. I can't understand this move. What do you mean you can't understand it? They just won the Champions League 2 years ago.
I made that point while you were gone too. I'm like, yeah, people are bitching. They're constantly saying like, well, he won the Champions League. I'm like, well, what has he done recently?
Yeah, and that's what managing Chelsea is. Look at their management history. They don't have anybody that stays there very long. I mean, that's true before, and even now with new ownership, it's staying true. You start fucking up, you're out. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
When you lose the locker room, then that's what happened at Chelsea. You're out. You're gone. Players didn't want to play for him. And they weren't real thrilled about the fact that there were players brought in to replace them. Do you think Chilwell likes the fact that they went out and got Cucurella? Oh no, you're freezing again. Okay, there you're back. Oh, hey, my cable was on for a very short while. And then
all right, well, let's hammer through this. Continue going. Yeah, I mean, I think the number one theory by most Chelsea fans is that Pulisic had Papa Pulisic call the owner and got Tuchel fired. Do you think Pulisic does that have that big of a pull?
No, but here is what is going to be true. Mount and Pulisic are going to be on the pitch at the same time going forward.
That's strange.
They have amazing chemistry, and they have yet to play with one another for like hardly at all this season. Like they fed off each other that Lampard season, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, fuck, they've known each other since they're kids.
Yes,
they've got a chemistry working together.
Yep,
Why not play them together?
Play them together. Let's not be a moron like Tuchel. And and people are saying
this is a great one.
Chupacabra.
That's how you say
it. Yeah, he's a fighting mystical animal. Yeah, so that's the whole Chelsea thing in a quick. But here's the great thing that happened this Tuesday. Reyna came on. He wasn't supposed to be on, but 23 minutes into the game, a guy pulled a left testicle and had to come out. And Reyna comes on and puts on a fantastic Reyna-like performance, getting 2 assists. And they, of course, Copenhagen is not a great team. I get it. That's fine. But for a guy that wasn't even supposed to get any more than 20 minutes that game, that's all they were going to give him in that game. He went 67, looked fine. I mean, he looked a little winded here and there, kind of bent over, grabbing his knees a few times. And you could tell he was not in tip-top shape. But this is just shows that when you let him play, he's effective. And Julian Brandt, outside of Rashica, Brandt may also be one of the most greedy players out there. I mean,
I thought during the silly season, I thought that the rumors was Brandt wasn't longed for Dortmund. Thought he was on his way out.
Well, his teammates hate him. That's for sure.
There are plenty of photos of him and Gio, and he even has a really nice quote for Gio.
Well, no, I'm not saying that I'm glad Julian Brandt likes Gio, but how many times in that game did he decide to blast one instead of pass it?
Sure.
When there were guys that were open, and they all looked at him with that same look, like, "The fuck, dude! I'm fucking wide open. What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah, you're not going to make a lot of friends doing that. Al Weinstein, do you think the Gio reaction is a bit over the top? No, I'm just happy he's back. Honestly,
well, I mean, it's not necessarily your reaction per se. The reaction is on the Twitter sphere, and he does elaborate what he means by that. He gets 2 assists, and he's the one. And I made the comment like, well, he was the one before he made the 2 assists.
He was.
Everybody's already looking at his ceiling. Everybody's already looking at his ceiling, and it's like he's got the highest ceiling of all U.S. players at this point.
It's just true.
If you can only stay healthy and play, that'd be the big thing.
It's just true.
But I think most people were just ecstatic to see him back, and they may have gone over the top in some reactions, but it's all just because he's back. He got 70-plus minutes or whatever, more or less, and notched 2 assists.
And he didn't get hurt.
It felt good. It felt good to see and experience it. That's all it is.
They didn't have to take him off the field with him crying again for the 3rd time in a row. You know, small victories right now feel really big, especially as we head towards the World Cup. Now, I don't know if anybody's calling the next Ronaldo or the next Messi or whatever. If that's what they're saying, that's a little over the top. It's possible. We know he's got a high ceiling, but we're just not sure how high it is yet. He's a fucking fine player. There's no doubt about it. Is our tall Maradona. Yeah, he's like a gazelle is what he runs, like a gazelle with those long legs. He's a big guy too. He's tall. I love the Gio and Bellingham relationship. I think Gio has a great relationship with almost every player on that team. But his best buddy left. And
that son of a bitch.
That's Holland.
Maybe I know that Dortmund came out and stated that they see Gio as a long-term lifer at Dortmund.
Well, good luck.
I wonder, wouldn't that be interesting to see him rejoin Holland at City?
It would make me.
Dads and dads played, and now sons and son play. I
mean, it would be cool in that sense. Although Man City makes me want to vomit.
No, I don't want. I'm fine. And there was a conversation.
But Chelsea used to make me want to vomit, and I got over that.
It's still going to do that. No, there was a conversation on Twitter about that now that Tuchel's fired and Pulisic, if he needs to perform, otherwise maybe he needs a downgrade. And I said I'm not opposed to him downgrading regardless, as long as he gets consistent playing time. He's playing for a high mid-table team. I think sometimes we put too much emphasis on Champions League ball. And we're talking about roughly 3 to 5 games, more or less, for most teams.
Yeah.
And some of them are against top-tier team. I mean, we just saw Juve and PSG play, of course. But then there's going to be Juve playing insert random podunk Polish team here or something like that,
Yeah, sometimes that happens too.
Regardless. But
is that what Al means, though?
No.
That's
I brought this point because at this point came up, and I'm like, I wouldn't be opposed to him going to a top mid-table team, anyways, just so they can get consistent playing time and perform and excel.
I just don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm happy he's at Dortmund, and I think Dortmund is a big club.
This is Pulisic, by the way. I bounced back to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, same thing with Pulisic. Let's see how he does with a new manager and how he gets along. And Al says, all good. I don't necessarily disagree. I like Weston's journey. I like his journey too. Earn it and punch above the weight at every turn. I agree. I like it. And let's just face it, Reyna would have been punching above his weight at every turn had he not been, injured constantly. Yes, it's been constant. So, I can only say I hope doesn't have spaghetti tendons like Josh got. I don't think he does. So we'll see how it goes. It's mostly been his hamstrings, as far as I understand.
I think it's just growing pains and muscle tears during that time period.
He's still
quite
growing.
Frankly, he comes from good stock, uninjured stock. So
but how did he get so fucking tall? His dad was like 5'10". His mom's like 5'9".
Freak of nature, I guess.
Yeah, no shit. God damn.
I would say maybe stripping the milkman, but man, he looks just like his dad.
He does look like his dad.
It's a pretty clear cut that yes, that's my son.
Yes, there is not much doubt that he is Claudio Reyna's son. There is no doubt about it. Yeah.
Oh no, but yeah, I agree, Al. I think we're all on the same page. I think sometimes, especially in Twitter, people take it to an extreme just to make a point. But I think for the most part, if you look at the point being made, I think we all kind of agree. So
yeah. By the way, I just want to do this last shot for Chelsea losing to Dinamo Zagreb. What a joke.
Maybe Milk Woman.
Oh, breast jokes. All right.
Berlin, you're starting to sound like me from the other show, apparently.
All right. Dest, 33 in a tie versus Salzburg for the mighty AC Milan. McKennie went 45, and he came in and changed the game for you.
100%.
Versus PSG.
He still had some rusty moments, but yeah, 100%.
I was really hoping they could get one more and tie that one.
Yes. Well, I mentioned it earlier. I'm like, I think PSG was fortunate that Juve didn't finish some of their chances. Obviously, the PSG goalkeeper saved their asses a number of times.
And not only that, Mbappe was a greedy little fuck and could have had a cross to an absolutely open Neymar and decided
a brace of goals and a brace of assists. Easy, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Pretty sad.
I think PSG was fortunate to get the win there. Good on Weston. I mean, Weston's not the tallest guy on the pitch by any means, but how does he constantly get those aerial battles? It's like his bread and butter.
He can jump.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
he's good at it.
Great goal. Love seeing it back.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully more to come.
We already talked about Sands' poor performance. It was embarrassing. Not all of it, but some of it was very embarrassing. Tillman, he did outside of his 30-yard solo dribble by himself all the way down the field to the box of the opponent. I mean, he didn't have much of a game, was yanked at halftime. So not a good game for him. Otis Sally did not dress, and he's back at Bruges 2. Chandler was in the 18 and a loss for Frankfurt. So all you Chandler fans, let's just understand he doesn't play anymore. Fernando Arce, 88 for Juarez. Alvarado was in the 18 for Juarez. They lost again. Then today, Ledesma in the 18 for PSV did not play. Pifak is still injured, which was a shame. Conrad did not dress for Olympiacos. He must be injured. He must be. He's got to be.
Or got the Rona.
or he's already shown the spots and what sort of leopard he is. Wingo went 90 in a win versus Trabzonspor today. So they beat the best Turkish team in Europe. Ferenc Vacaris beat them. So maybe Hungarians aren't so bad. Oh, he's not on the Europa list. Boy, they fucking blew that. You'd think they would have gotten that figured out, as soon as they decided to sign him. That's really weird. Maybe they didn't think he was going to be. They didn't want to play him for that. Altidore went 11 in a tie. So Altidore's playing abroad. He's playing in Mexico for Puebla. He didn't score.
He said he played 11 in a tie.
11 minutes.
So he basically this time he's coming off the bench. It seems like.
Yes, every game.
Every now and then he's pulling off goals. So you got to give him credit for credit's sake, I guess.
He gets 2 goals.
Definitely not in contention here, guys.
Right. Definitely not. Let's see if my cable's up here. It says Roku TV. No, it's back to 33%. Some weird shit going on here in this neck of the woods. Okay. That covers. What else did we say we would cover? I think that's about it.
It's funny you brought this up, the garbage patch kid hair with McKinney and jumps. But that hair with just like the one patch of dyed or bleached spot, that is going around like gangbusters right now. I've seen it in multiple games with multiple players.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is that? I
Oh,
don't know what that is.
In one segment with Dempsey, by the way, they were asked what food did he not like in England, and you know what he said? Dick. Yes, he said
he
spotted dick. Yes,
no fucking shit.
He said, and it's not because
two shows have ever mentioned spotted dick. Our show and his show.
He said it wasn't because it was bad, but he didn't want anything called spotted dick. In his own Dempsey way. And I want to give a special shout out to Seth Emblem, who in the last show, I noticed in the chat, did get my Blondie joke reference, which was awesome because we were talking about someone eating this and eating that. And I said, what the fuck is this? A Blondie video? And he got it. The song Rapture, where the aliens come down and they eat up cars and eat up bars and eat everything.
Okay.
So someone got the joke. Thank you, Seth. All right. I think that's it, right?
There you go. Justin Hall says that was great. Henry lost it. Did he end up losing when he said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a spotted dick.
Yep. He like spotted dick. Which is
no, we haven't even done the Twitter comments here.
Okay.
So as long as your hotspot can hold it, let's run through this real quick.
My hotspot is hot. Yours is cold.
No, my internet's running fine, Derek. It is all on your end.
I get it, but when you had to use the hotspot,
my hotspot sucked donkey balls. I agree with you on that. Yeah. Yes.
Tiny clitoris. All right.
All right. Can you read all this?
Harry Long Johnson. It's a little redundant, but he's got Harry Long Johnson. All right. That shouldn't grow hair on that actual Johnson part. Who had Tuchel getting the sack before Rodgers on the 22-23 Premier League bingo card? We did. Good riddance. Who is Graham Potter? The Quidditch coach at Hogwarts? The Premier League sack race is looking pretty interesting. Why would you fire Rodgers if you're Leicester? He didn't do anything wrong. They had to apologize. The board had to apologize to Rodgers, beg him to stay and say, listen, we're really sorry. We sold some of our best players away, and we didn't buy anyone to replace them. We're just clean out of cash right now. Sorry. You're not going to fire Rodgers. He's one of the best coaches in the Premier League. Now, Rodgers might leave for a better offer. That might help. That might happen, but they're not going to get rid of Rodgers because they know it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
When you don't sign anybody in the silly season, your team's likely to get stale. Stale they are. Uh-oh. Derek's frozen again. My hotspot's great.
You saw some of your like long-lasting players, like your goalkeeper? No. I'm still here.
Yeah. You totally froze for a while.
I'm not having any issues on my end.
I can hear you at least. It's all on your end
there.
There.
Too, by the way.
Of course I froze.
Can
I can
you
hear
see me
you.
waving?
Keep
All
talking.
right,
Keep talking. Yeah.
all
All
right.
right. So he's not Harry Potter's dad, or uncle, or brother. The Coach Hogwarts made a Harry Potter joke. And you're not saying anything, so I'm assuming you're frozen. Oh, there you go. I hear you now.
Yep, sack race. That's all I got to say.
Hold on.
All right.
One
do we got
second.
next?
See, Berlin says, Brett, I have a personal question. I know the personal time questions are in the beginning, but what should I do with 1 to 2 women that say they just want to have a child and no questions asked? No money question?
Are they hot? How are you going to make these children with them? In a bottle?
So are these is this a 2-lady couple that wants to have your child and no questions asked?
Yeah, I need more context, Berlin.
Yeah. Keep it coming, Berlin. We need to hear more about the story.
And
We'll move on to the next question, Berlin. You tell us.
Hold on. Are they asking you more like this? I want you to have my baby. Or are they saying literally, hey, dude, I want you to.
We want a baby. We want your seed.
Yeah. Depends on how they're saying it, too.
Yeah. Keep us up. Yeah.
I'm missing a fucking another show. The Tuchel firing can't hurt Pooley. He has a chance to impress a new manager, which is Potter. It's on him now. Potter plays a similar style of Tuchel as well. God, I hope not. So let's curb our enthusiasm. Well, that's what Larry David would say. Leipzig fire their manager. So I guess it wasn't Marsh's fault. Yeah, Leipzig had a really rough beginning of the season so far. So you could see that one coming. All right, I'm going to try to finish a little more of this.
Okay, while you're finishing that 99, Al basically says what we said, but much more coherently. He says, "Are you to father them or just to sire them?" And he says, "Sire them."
That's a good way of putting
it. Basically, these 1 to 2 women want to have a baby, and they want your specimen inside them, basically.
So are you going to have to jizz in a cup, or do you get some activity out of it?
Is it going to be a 3-way? I mean, do you take the chance of both of them getting pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you might as well get it done in one fell swoop.
Premature, and then maybe a couple finishes, I guess. I don't know how it works out. maybe I'm not going to go into that.
Okay. So, I mean, really, context is the king, right? Like, if we know the context, I can tell you, go do it. But if you're just squirting in a cup at some office somewhere, which has got to not be fun, I can only imagine nobody's asked me to make babies with them. I mean, except for the ones I made myself. But not in a cup. That seems really kind of. But if you listen, if you want to be a good Samaritan, no, 2 different women say sire me. Does that also mean fuck me, or does it mean spooge in a cup?
Yeah,
because you could sire something started in a cup. So 2 chicks, 1 cup.
Somebody went there. Somebody went there. Oh, thank you, David.
They'd be sharing that cup. Yep. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
All right. Are we
coming? I like USA's. If you're present for the action, then definitely.
Well, it depends. I mean, they gotta be lookers. I'm not wasting my sperm on non-lookers, and you got to think of the kid that's going to come out of that, right? She's not a good looker. She's an ugly, you know what? Then that child's probably going to be ugly too, unless you're incredibly handsome, Berlin.
Is this in reference to what happens if the kid you sire becomes,
5 to 10% sell-on fee?
I'll only sire this kid that if he becomes
Miroslav Klose.
Yeah.
Yes. I am getting a lot of. Are you hearing that too? The sound
it says what? No sex. 2 different women. So
no sex. Oh no! I mean, listen. If
Mm-hmm.
you're into charity, go ahead. Go to a clinic and spooge into a cup. But I mean, if you're going to jerk it anyhow, at some point you could save them some. I know that's one option. Shit. I've got all kinds of siring material over here. I mean, not right now. It's in the garbage or in a, a napkin somewhere.
It's
in
a
the
trap.
garbage. So look at that.
It's a trap. All right.
Yeah. Hey man,
Zach Casey said, okay.
It's your jism. You do with it what you will.
Yeah, I mean, if they just want the specimen in the end, I guess you get to open up some sticky pages of the magazine and jerk it to it. I guess
there is no way he jerks off to magazines anymore. There's no way. There's just no way.
Even in the past, I mean, you go in and you start opening up the magazine or whatever, and it's like sticking. You're just going, fuck.
I mean, think about this. Would a like a 1998 Penthouse even give you a hard on at this point?
Oh,
no,
not really.
No, it's sad. That's how we're adult.
This is really taking a turn, but I almost wonder if they end up having fleshlights that you can have a cup connected to.
Oh, you mean at the jerk off center?
Yeah, at the jerk off center. Yeah.
No, I hear nowadays in the Netherlands, you go there and they hire hookers to come off the street to help you.
Shove a finger up your ass, right?
I mean, if you're into that.
Yeah,
this took a weird turn.
This took a fun turn, guys.
Yeah, speaking of hot spot. All right.
So Zach Casey says, where does Gio best fit in the U.S. men's national team roster?
Where Greg wants him. On the right wing or the left wing?
4-3-3, gonna be right wing.
I'm just telling you where Greg likes it.
Now, Berlin, you are all over the place. Now it's absolutely, of course, sex. Then yes, sire both of them.
Well, no, wait. Are they hot?
Oh, no coma sex though.
If they're hot, I'd say go for it. If they're not, you have to consider a few factors. Are they hot and smart? If they're both ugly and dumb, you don't want to have. That's a child you're bringing into the world that's probably also going to be ugly and dumb. So don't do that. There's so many things against. If you're going to be ugly, at least if she's ugly and smart, I consider it, because then if the kid's ugly and smart, at least he's fucking smart. I mean, fucking Albert Einstein was not a looker. We need Einsteins in this world. So, I mean, it's all up to you, man. It's your sperm. It's your jizz. And now that there's sex involved, that could get a little awkward. Are you married, Berlin? I thought you were married.
Oh, he was dating. He recently broke up with his girlfriend.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You are so good about knowing people's personal issues, Brett. That's what's good about you.
That's what I retained it all up here. I don't remember anything else, just all the dirty stuff.
You're a tender, considerate person.
We're here for you, Berlin, if you need to talk. Back to Zach Casey, though. And if it is at the winger, who will push the opposing back line if Puli, Jesus, and Gio up top?
Who will push the opposing back line?
I guess if Weah's up there, he's constantly running up and down the pitch type thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see about that. I think Weah's more likely to start. I mean, listen, the whole problem with this whole conversation is we don't play the position that Gio plays. So he's going to have to force out the wing.
If a Puli, Jesus, Gio trio occurs.
Gross.
I was gonna say that'd be a with Gio and Puli, you'd look at a 4-3-2-1, but then that's not going to benefit Jesus. So how does that work out?
Yeah, it's so. I mean, listen, Aronson and Reyna are really getting fucked in the sense that they're never really going to actually get to play their natural position in Greg's system. That's just unfortunate, true. So either way, you're putting a sort of roundish square into a round hole. So it's not going to fit perfectly, but it will squeeze it in there if you slam it enough times with a hammer. All right, where are we at?
I wrote this guy.
Rapture.
You got this one?
Reyna is a hell of a player. I'd give my left nut. No, fellatio. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, that would be pronounced ascio, but it's close, right? Fellatio. Hey, I like me doing some fellatio over here.
Mitch does God's work, so
he does. He really does.
So props to you, Mitch. You keep it going.
Hey, don't bother me over here. I'm doing some fellatio. All right. Reyna is a hell of a player. I give my left nut for him to stay fit. I truly believe that if healthy, he wins the best young player in Qatar. Musa has a shot too. He certainly does. So Musa and Gio playing well has sparked a debate on who is a must start. In other words, who cannot be on the bench. Well, Musa's not going to be on the bench.
I think at this point, and if they continue to stay healthy, I think MMA is a guarantee.
Yes. It's all about the winger battle right now.
And yeah, at this point, I imagine if Reyna continues to remain healthy, that he's going to take his spot back at right wing.
Yeah, especially if
I think Way and Aronson will be on the bench, which might not be a terrible thing. I mean, not necessarily every game. I think that I think Greg's going to be doing some rotation through the World Cup, but how awful would it be for Reyna and Pulisic to have subs like Weah and Aronson coming in at like the 60th minute? Could you imagine that backline going, oh, fuck?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a great, give them 20 minutes at the end of the game. That'd be killer. And it really does matter who we're playing as well. Let's keep this in mind. I'm considering who's going to start. It's going to change for Greg. Boy, I'm getting a lot of feedback, too.
I'm hearing that, too, right now.
I mean, it's like there's a fucking storm outside or something.
Yes.
But
this is crazy. Hey, can anybody else hear the feedback? Let's continue, though.
It sounds like there's a ghost trying to talk on one of those shows where they go into a house looking for the ghost. Oh, my God.
He just took away.
Oh, my God. He just said, fuck your mother. No, he didn't.
Oh, yeah, I was going to totally use a different word, but yes, that's exactly where I was going to go with it.
No, he said, he did not say fuck your mother.
Well, no, with those shows, they always say that. And you go back and you listen to it like, oh, I hear it too now, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you can turn that into anything. That's what, what's that bad lip reading show? You can make anything.
I love that. I love that show that's on YouTube, the bad lip readings.
I love the Star Wars ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we?
More. Al says it's manageable, but it does sound like dial up.
Yeah.
All right, we got to pound through this. If we're having that audio issue, I don't want that occurring throughout the show. So let's. Did we finish this one already?
Fellatio says, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Wayne Kerr, a popular Chelsea and England national team account. And he unironically said that Christian Pulisic is a terrible person and that he's the reason why Tuchel got sacked because he and his daddy pleaded to bully. Bullshit! Calling totally bullshit on that.
Absolutely. Well, no, I mean, Wanker knows, okay?
That's bullshit. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Wanker knows best.
Yeah, he's wrong. He's just wrong. There's no way that Pulisic's dad has any pull. I'm sorry. I don't care if he's an American. And he's not even a first-generation American, which doesn't matter anyhow. I'm just saying no. No.
Are you
That's
saying
not what happened.
Are you saying Wanker does not know what he's talking about?
I'm saying Wanker does not know what he's talking about. So whoever this Wanker is, he's wrong.
This is right. Wanker right here.
I know. I'm playing along. God damn it.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're not.
Not. You're not.
You're not.
All right.
W.
I think the hiring, Brett Winter, of Graham Potter makes the firing of Tuchel good for Pooley. Potter is very tactical, flexible, and we already read this one. He is flexible. Somebody said the same thing. And plays attacking soccer.
Someone posted in the chat. But yeah.
Please, God, make there a game that's watchable for Chelsea. Please, just whatever you do, Potter, just make a game watchable for me.
Yeah.
Brighton has struggled to score goals. Granted, it's Brighton, but I never know Potter to be a good attacking manager. I've never known Potter to be I don't know. We're going to find out real fast, aren't we, Chris? Yep.
Chelsea definitely has plenty of offensive options. You'd imagine that you shouldn't have that big of a problem scoring goals.
Yep. Markaloff, what are your thoughts on Greg's recent interview?
You kind of talked about that.
I almost fell asleep listening to it. I mean, there was really nothing new except for him name dropping fucking Aaron Long again. And it's just like, shut the fuck up about Aaron Long. There's nothing to name.
The MLS segment we talked about was at least not reassuring, but it definitely validated a lot of our arguments, a lot of our criticisms about it. That even the manager of the U.S. men's national team and former MLS manager can say exactly what we said.
Mm-hmm. He also does not believe that there's a toxic community out there. He said, I'm going to get criticism, and I'm okay with it. So there's that, too, for those who hate us.
Props to you on that one, Greg.
That criticized.
Well, I can officially say on this show, we've never insulted Greg or done anything to degrade him.
Well,
except for draw a penis on his head.
We did draw a penis on his head. I thought we kicked his dog. I thought it was interesting when he said that he's going to start implementing his game plan for the World Cup in this upcoming camp. Well, I don't think he meant his whole game plan. I think generally the players already know what that is. But I think he has a game plan for each of the opponents, and it's going to be a little different for each of the opponents.
Yeah, I think that also is going along with the player selection too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think he's basically hitting two birds, one stone. Yeah. You know, we're going to see who's probably going to be starting for us to come to the World Cup. So I think that's kind of what he may have been alluding to. Not saying that. Well, we played this 4-3-3 all qualifier, but I think we're going to change it up to a standard 4-4-2 diamond instead in the World Cup. That's going to be my game plan. That's what we're going to implement. No, I think it's just what we're going to see in these upcoming games are basically what we're going to see in the World Cup.
No.
What? No. What do you mean?
Yes, I think so.
Derek,
you hear me?
Smoking something? Are you smoking something right now? What's happening? Okay, we're gonna keep moving on.
Are you there?
I'm here. Are you here?
Are you back?
Are you back?
What? You were frozen.
No.
You're still frozen.
On your end.
I can hear you.
Yes. On your end, I'm frozen.
You're frozen. Can you hear me?
I've got fiber internet and you've got hotspot internet. I'm pretty sure it's all on your end.
Yeah, but you can hear me.
I can hear you, yes. Well, unless you're talking right now, I can't hear you right now.
Can you hear me? Okay, that's all I want to fucking know. I don't care about
Dave, I've said yes like 5 fucking times.
Oh,
I've said, Jesus, corn is in fact good fiber, says Nargo. Jesus Christ. Fucking day. Well, Jonathan Rupert wants to know if the passing of the Queen Elizabeth II will impact any of the Premier League games. It's possible. Likely. We'll see. P.S. Derek, you should watch Barbarians on Netflix. It's a dramatization of the Battle of Teutoburg. I'm going to go with Teutoburg Forest in 980.
No, I don't. No. No.
I'm gonna finish this up, Derek. This is hysterical to listen to. Teutoburg.
God damn it.
That's correct. Well, at least you can blame it on the hotspot, Derek. Very likely they don't play domestic matches for 9 days. Oh, interesting. There is also a movie called Barbarians. When I first read this earlier today, I assumed they were talking about that, which is a horror flick. And Derek's gone. Probably for the better. Okay. Let's see here. Fred Baker, our good friend Fred Baker. He says September roster is coming up, and my 3 9s are Wood, Altidore, and Zardes. It's a good 3. Nice pick. Since you guys are all knowing and all powerful, yes, we are, you'll tell me that my roster sucks. Sure. But I actually traveled the world and played. You didn't, so sit down. I've played in Italy, lived in France and Spain, spent time in Argentina. I watched MLS, La Liga, Serie A, Liga and I know my shit. Joe Corona is better midfielder than De La Torre and Musa. Musa isn't even American, by the way. So I hate our current team. Barely any developed in the U.S. Welcome back, Derek.
I've been back for 4 minutes. You just didn't stare
I was reading Fred Baker's take here. You'll like this one, though.
God.
I want you to read it.
September roster is coming up, and my 3 9s are Wood, dumb, Alpador, dumb, and Zardis, dumb. Since you guys are all knowing and powerful, you'll tell me that my roster sucks. No, I'm saying you're dumb. And it does suck. But I actually traveled the world and played. You didn't, so sit down. I'm already sitting. I played in Italy. So what? I lived in France. How gay Paris of you. And Spain. Oh, well, did you run with the Bulls? Spent time in Argentina. Yeah, with one of those. Anyhow, I watch MLS, La Liga, Serie A, League One. I know my shit. Joe Corona's better midfielder than DLT and Musa. Musa isn't even American, by the way. So I hate our current team. Barely any developed in USA. Oh, Fred. I'm so glad you're just a troll.
Yeah. Michael says,
just
you
a
need work
troll.
on your troll game. Speaking of trolls, we have one more troll coming up here, I believe.
We do?
The show. Yep. Spencer James is back.
Oh, yes, our favorite English dork. I love seeing Pulisic's downfall. He's a racist POS. What?
So I had to go back and do some research on this, what he's talking about. And he's talking about the comment he made after the Morocco game, where he's like, we need to get more Americans in the stands. And people made a big shit fest about how, well, that's really downplaying I'll bet you all those Morocco fans are actually Morocco Americans.
Moroccan Americans, many of them were, but he meant American supporters. And
Exactly.
We all know what he meant, except for morons like Spencer James who don't know what he meant.
What is it? Stripes and something, whatever that page is.
Hey, Spencer, why don't you just assume the worst? You fucking racist piece of shit. You must not like people from goddamn Croatia or something like that. You're a racist against Eastern Europeans, Spencer James, you Anglo-Saxon piece of shit. All right. What a dick. What's the last time he had a good performance for us? I don't care. I just hate how every USA fan blows him. I can guarantee you that he is not getting blown a lot. I don't think he's ever at 6. I would say he's probably a virgin. He sucks. No, really? you suck better.
I hate Spencer. Okay.
Yeah, he sucks. No, he does not. I hate Chelsea. Well, I hate Chelsea, but I agree with their fans. He's terrible and a bad person. You're a stupid fuck. He's not a bad person. He's actually a very nice guy. So whatever. You're terrible for saying all those things. Actually, you're the bad person. You haven't figured that out yet, Spencer? God.
Go on to read the next page.
Go easy on me. Oh, shit. Sorry. I just happen to have a difference of opinion. I hate the constant circle jerk with your fans. Never a disagreement. We disagree all the fucking time. Jesus Christ. I like you guys, but you never disagree with anything. Well, maybe this. We're going to disagree on that. We think Pulisic, although not living up to what we would like him to live up to right now, I think he's going through a rough patch, and then he was injured fucking forever, it seemed like. So, yeah, he's had some ups and downs, but I don't think that makes him a racist piece of shit. That's a really hard – like, if you're going to accuse somebody of racism, you better have a little bit more evidence than that one comment.
There were a number of articles that came out from urinalists and stuff that had the same take.
Did you just say you just said urinalists?
Yeah. I think even Wall had an article about it. But it was just like people can't, like, we're just like aching to have something that's click fest, like something that's just going to draw a lot of clicks on their article. Like
calling someone a racist is a serious fucking accusation, dude. That is a very serious accusation.
I go to Berlin says he did have it. I thought he did. Yeah.
He did have what?
Grant did have an article about how Pulisic was basically downplaying all the Moroccan Americans in the stands.
That is so presuming that you know exactly what he meant to say. He wished there were more American supporters in the stands.
We're playing in the U.S. We would love it if it was a home field advantage with
That's all
U.S.
he was
supporters
saying.
in the stands is what he's saying.
Did he misspeak just a little? He didn't use the word supporters. Yes, he did. But he wasn't calling all those Moroccan Americans not Americans. Of course they're Americans. Of course they are. They're about as American as I am.
Yeah.
All right? German American, Moroccan Americans. We're all Americans. Yes, did he not phrase that perfectly well? Probably not. But, I mean, you knew what he meant, what he was saying. And to presume he was trying to say something, negative and racist and nasty. Kind of wonder about your way of thinking then. Like, that's immediately where you jump to? So.
Everybody did take it out of context.
Yeah, you don't jump the gun. You just don't jump the gun on something like that. You need more evidence. Like, do you know Pulisic? Have you hung out with him in an English bar? By the way, he doesn't drink, so I doubt that. Have you gone on a date with Pulisic? Have you, exchanged bodily fluids with him and know a lot more about him than I do? I just think that's just horrible.
Yeah, this is the context behind the comment.
The tickets were pricey.
You were either saying like, oh, the Moroccan Americans are going to be offended, or you were saying, no, he's basically, dick punching USSF for outpricing people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah. So
wow.
the funny thing is you have this controversy, and you have people who actively try to paint a picture for what they thought he meant by it, and it's so yesterday's news that I had to go back and find out what he was. I went through his history, Spencer James's history, find out what he's talking about, and he's only been there since June, so obviously just a troll account. But I mean, I had to go back and find like, oh yeah, that's right. There was that whole drama about that, but that went out the wayside.
This is like ambulance chasing, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for the slightest little fucking crash on the side of the road so you can rubberneck. I mean, you can't jump straight for the clitoris, and you can't jump straight to calling someone a racist because one sentence that they said you have interpreted in your own personal way. It's not fair. That's not how the world should work.
Yeah.
Everyone should get the benefit of the doubt, and you have a conversation with them first before you point at them and call them a racist. That's just not, it's not cool. They simply could have asked him to clarify. Crazy idea, yet no one did.
Yeah.
No one did.
Yeah.
So, well, way to go, U.S. Journalists, soccer journalists.
Yeah.
But most of them know him pretty well by this point. He's a pretty reserved, quiet guy. He's not a hateful person at all. He might hate Tuchel, but
I mean, we don't have the inside track to Pulisic and interviewing him and asking questions and stuff like that. They do, but how is it possible that we were able to extrapolate what he meant by his
immediately? I knew what he meant.
Instead of just painting up an article and saying like, was Pulisic being racist by saying this? I mean, come the fuck on. It's all for clicks. It's as somebody said, it's media 101. Creating controversy to sell a story is media 101, is what Michael Hassman said.
Well, that's one thing, but then to post it on Twitter when you're not going to make any benefits off of it and calling someone a racist just for the fucking giggles and shits for it, that's just, or maybe it's just a troll thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe he's just a troll. I mean, he hasn't been around that long. And maybe he does like our show. I don't get that feeling. We're pretty fair with everybody. So, I mean, I'll bust everybody's balls for the most part. I'll bust your balls. You'll bust my balls. We bust a lot of balls around here. All right.
I was cursing a lot. I was cursing a lot when you were like, dude, you're frozen. Brett, you're frozen. I'm like, it's not me, Derek.
Well, guess what? I'm off the hotspot and back on my cable.
I can tell. I can definitely tell just from the clarity of your camera.
Yeah, this collapse that could happen at any minute, though. Who knows? Rian Agrias. Rian Agrias?
Agrias?
Rian Agrias. Okay. I thought maybe there might be a trick thing in there. Moroccans one chance to see their national team compared to an average family breaking the bank. Yeah, for another friendly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Surprise. Figured that we'd just bring this up since you talked about him being quiet and reserved. He's quiet and reserved except for when he's doing interviews with Reyna.
Yeah, that was pure comedy, and actually, he was trying to remain quiet and reserved.
He did his best.
Yeah, he really.
That's a great duo. I think every post game should have that duo on there. Oh, yeah. That was funny.
I mean, there are hints. where Pulisic in interviews that he's done with Chilwell, he's done like 3 of those.
Yeah.
And one of them, you know, it's like he's never had a girlfriend before. That was the joke, you know, because Chilwell was talking about girls and parties and stuff like that. And Pulisic's like, well, you know, my problems with that. And he was talking about the girls part. So I don't know if he even gets out and dates. It's got to be hard. It's got to be difficult. I don't want to use the word hard.
I'm sure it's going to be hard too, Derek.
I'm sure it's very hard when he's alone in his apartment or whatever he lives in, his abode. Anyhow, it's got to be tough being Pulisic. It really does, because you are the poster boy for American soccer right now. And you saw how heavy that weighed on Landon Donovan.
And and about the same time period, how it laid down on Freddie Adu.
Yeah, well, yeah.
One of these things, it's not like
the other. That's like an IQ test thing. Freddie Adu, Christian Pulisic, Landon Donovan. Who doesn't belong? Well, that's pretty easy. Just check that box. Next IQ question, please. All right, are we done?
Yeah, that's everything.
All right. I want to thank everybody for coming out to the show. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandmother.
Hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all of our content.
Yeah. And stay tuned. I can't wait for the World Cup to start. I don't know if we're going to be doing any live shows. We might do some. It'll be something we'll have to set up and plan for. There were other things I was going to talk about today, but I didn't even get to them since I was basically blotted out of the show for several times. So, but again, thanks for showing up, guys. Thanks for the support. And we'll see you next time on the Straight Red Card. The game is it's on Saturday. I'm not sure.
20s.
Yeah, I don't know what time.
I'm pretty sure they said it was the 25th on the game itself, and then Canada was playing on the 26th.
Well, I'm going to a dinner with my parents.
Let's pull up the website.
So I'm not going to be able to watch it live. So we're not going to be able to do a show. But I don't even know what time the game is.
Here,
no fucking
I'm just going to share the screen so that way you can see it.
I'll just watch the replay.
I'm on the U20s page.
All right. The fuck? The game's in 2 days, dude. How hard is it to fucking get this information in?
Guys!
What the fuck? What are they going to wait a couple hours before the game for the date, match, venue, and broadcaster? Yeah, this is the problem, right? This is the fucking problem.
You're gonna do her. Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me.